One. Hello, and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I'm your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs, Kosi Football Club. And I am realizing that I look a bit weird because it's the first time that I'm using a camera to stream, and yeah, some settings are not good enough, but yeah, my face looks weird. Anyways, in this video we are reacting to the starting 11 in the Nedbank Cup match between Kaizer Chiefs and Maritzburg United, the team of choice. And the lineup has come out, and it's pretty it's meh, right? It's like, for me it was predictable because I thought exactly what Zwane did was exactly what's going to happen, and it has happened. So yeah, so what do you think of what do you guys think of the starting 11? Right, that's all the question yenu muntu ongenayo. What do you think of the starting 11? If you don't know, it's the starting 11 is scrolling down on the whatever this thing is called, the text. So as expected, you have Peterson as the goalkeeper. You have Udove Nokwinika, center back partnership, Ngezana at right back, Hlant at left back, and then midfielders you have Mart, Ustebe, and then Umtu in front of them. Then you have Utoli, Usail through the middle, and then you have did I make a mistake? Yeah, I think you have Utupre on the left. So essentially the team is unchanged. It's exactly the same team, with the exception Yogutu Caleb is not there because he's injured. So then that tells me Uguti Vele Uzwane is trying to say, let me stick with the system, not necessarily because it works, but because he's probably trying to force and get the best out of these players. Because our machine is injured, so Mtu comes in. Guma right back, really, we don't have much choices but to play the players that we have. So what do you guys think of the starting 11? Because personally, I feel like if you look at the bench, the players that are in our bench today, are you looking at okay, ngengibala uMatoho noNgcobo, Nange, Zwane, Sekgotha, Matlo, Mashiane, Duba. I would have loved to see Duba start the game more than any other player. That's one player that I would have loved to see play the game. Kumane kuthiwa kukhulunywa ukuthi someone else is being benched, for instance Kik and Toli, but again I understand in a sense yokuthi maybe he's being benched because of the fact that Uzwane is waiting for his second half to bring him on as a sub. But we cannot bank on that. We cannot say Uzwane is going to make a sub in the second half, because as we have seen countless times before, Uzwane does not really make ama subs. So because of that, we end up having inkinga zokuthi why is he not making ama subs in time, especially. So that's the thing that I have a problem with ukuthi, as much as umangete sifuna qhubeka adlale kuje kube nenkinga. And the second problem with this starting 11, my personal thing, is that Usail will be forced to play in the middle, and we saw in the previous game Guti, when he was played in the middle, what happened is that Chiefs then just forced him across every time. Every single time we're just forcing crosses. And I didn't get that, Tuguti. Why would you continuously force him cross into the box as if this guy is like the tallest player? He is the tallest player, but it doesn't mean he's an aerial threat, right? Maybe that's something that still needs to be coached to him or in him, but I am not happy with playing Usail through the middle, because I feel like you are taking a lot away from the team. You could have him wide and he can give you much more as a winger. But asazi ukuthi uzwana uboneni during the week, because this game, as I said, I think one of the things about today's game is the fact that whatever happens today, pressure kuzwane ikhona, but winning this game kind of extends or gives him a lifeline, because vele abantu are already saying certain things about Uzwane. They don't want him good Chiefs, but perhaps if he somehow manages to win in Nedbank Cup in his first season, then all of a sudden the hate, the critics and all these things that are being said, it will subside a bit, because at the end of the day abantu bangasho ukuthi no, Zwane is inexperienced, Uzwane this, Uzwane that. But once a coach wins a team a title, even abantu abadawutayo bazoqala manje bathi hayi maybe uMangethe deserves a chance. How kahleni use deserve a chance manje. So ileyo nto leyo ukuthi by winning or doing something today, it gives him a lifeline. It makes people to think ukuthi no, maybe he can give us something. But if it doesn't do that, then sizoba nenkinga ngempela. So ngifuna ukubona ama comments and ukuthi nthini, because ngenxa yale Q&A thing babengawabona ama comments en. Abosihle, they are here, of course. Ola Khosi Nation. Mcook says Amakhosi. Cook says Sahil plays central. That's my cry on Akhosi ukuthi if we are playing with Sahil central, we're essentially saying hayi yonke into esoyithemba sodlala ama cross swanikeza uSahil. That's what we are saying, and that's what I'm foreseeing ukuthi Chiefs will just continuously spam ama cross into the box, and that's just going to not be effective. That's not going to be effective at all. And then Kosi Spiwe says Kosi National, welcome back. Yebo Makosi. And then Movie Mania says Dolly is our new Parker. That's for sure. Niggas, any chance to Dolly? I will say this. I wanted him to be benched, right? But I feel like he's already there. Might as well be given a chance, because the coach somehow thinks keeping Udoli in the game is going to benefit the team. I don't see how, but the coach sees that. Maybe Abanguti confidence of the player is going to improve somehow, which maybe if he scores a goal, he scores a free kick, something clicks, that's gonna be better. But I will still say this: ngamane udlale umntu as a winger, play uDoli through the middle. Doli Maisadlala as a winger, he's going to continue to cost the team, because one of the things that Udoli has is, or had in his prime, was the pace. He no longer has the same pace, explosive pace as he had in previous seasons. So when he was at Sundowns, so if you're expecting him to do the same amount of work he was doing at his prime, which was a few years back, eseke wagaina neweight, waphuma kwi-form, washintsha ama-team, then you're just kind of setting yourself up for failure, really. So I honestly think this thing yokuthi uDoli bazomforce ukuthi adlale wide kuzoba inkinga ngempela. So I would rather have uDoli really play as a 10 and have someone else play in the other positions. So Simsali says our lack of depth is forcing to watch Dolly underperforming week in, week out. Would rather promote Ditejane for that right back position rather than playing Ngezana. And that's what we were talking about yesterday, Uguti. One of the issues that I have with Ngezana is not him as a player, but it's him playing as a right back. It's not his position. And as such, he does not give the team anything. He's just there when you need him defensively. But offensively, which is something that we need and we rely on, he's not going to give you much. And having Utitechane, albeit ukuthi game yakhe is more focused offensively, would be much better than having Ungezana who's not going to give you anything going forward. Let me say this. What happens if I do this? What happens if I do this? Oh my god, it just went dark. It just went dark. Let me see what if I do this. Yabole experiment ngama lights. Oh, this one is dark. It's too dark. My eyes are red. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would rather have someone that will have to deal with helping him defensively. Like Mangatiwa, we have a player that we know they're extremely good going forward, but they're struggling. Magmele but defend. Like look at Trent Liverpool. But he knows he's backed by Abu Fabinho when they were still in form. Baby defender doing the things for him. Like abadlala abaningi, they have the freedom to go forward if they know they have a solid defensive midfielder at the back. Like Messi winning the World Cup, it was easy for him to stay up front and just move along because Depaul are working hard behind him, or Enzo Fernandez are working hard behind him, or McAllister, all those guys are workhorses, but it does not limit depth team. We are forcing no, we want to play senior players, because I'm a senior players. We have established this. They do not actually help Chiefs that much. This season they have not helped Chiefs that much. In fact, they've done the opposite. Please do like the video so that more people can see it. So do like the video, please do like the video. So indaba yokuthi we lack depth as such. We're playing with Dolly week in, week out. And very fair, because if you think about it, if in another perfect situation, right, you would have a player like, who's this? You would have Usekhota playing, but Sekhota is also not playing well at all. So now you have a problem. Yoguti, on one hand, you have oh my god, you have Usekhota underperforming, you have Utoli underperforming. So now you're like, what is the team left with? The winger Omunye, we are underperformer. The other the other player is, let me push this water outside of the viewing area. Uguti, one winger we are catcher, because akasikho no catch loku kasekhot. He doesn't even get to a point where he has to deliver a final product. So that's underperforming on its own. You move on to another place where you have Utoli, who's just underperforming in all ways possible. And then you have another winger in Udupri is not giving us much going forward. Instead, he does help us defensively. So he's the one who's been better. So he's the one that we can't drop. But anything and everything, my wing positions is just torture. There's nothing enzakala kahle, and because of that, that is why Udoli bezoqhubeka badlale, because if Udoli was being benched for who? Sekhota now, he will come in and then he will underperform. So who? Then that means you are saying Chiefs should try and change the system, or throw Sabelo Hatebe on the wing and then bring on someone who's going to play as a right winger. So it's a really, really complex and complicated issue at this point, because Chiefs, in short, to make this thing, we don't have depth, we don't have enough players, and I don't have enough battery on my camera, so I have to change it and use my phone, because if not, I'm just going to cut and you're gonna start hearing my voice and not the camera, not seeing the video itself. So yeah, I think Engito that will be decisive in today's game, which it usually is, and I've been saying this for a long time, Uguti, Chiefs does not actually let me just, excuse me a second, I'm trying to sort out my the production of the show here. Uguti, if Chiefs for one reason or the other does not start the game well, plays in patches. Maritzburg scores the goal, they defend. And Tina, we've proven time and time again ukuthi when it comes to going forward, when it comes to creating goal scoring opportunities, see papa, we are just papa. Yes, we just fail like dismally. It's not even like Chiefs because I saw someone saying in the last video, that other game, someone said, oh no, we were just unfortunate. I'm like, bruh, we were not unfortunate. We say someone is unfortunate if they actually hit the post maybe 3 times in that game. No, Chiefs, that's not what happened. Tina, we miss clear-cut chances. We don't even hit the post. It's something that will support the theory ukuthi we are unfortunate. Instead, it's just something that proves ukuthi equality of our players is really bad, and it's not ukuthi management is tried to sign any of those players. No, they just relaxed, and look at what it's doing to us now. And the problem with all of this is the fact that as much as Chiefs is going to say our players, they see we don't find the players that we need. Come on, are you honestly trying to tell me ukuthi Chiefs izoba ne what's this thing? Are you telling me ukuthi Chiefs is going to get anything from this season or next season for that matter if we continue not investing in the players? Like, are we going to actually continue playing and performing better if we don't invest in better players? Are we going to perform any better if every time Chiefs is going to make excuses and say, oh, the teams don't want to sell to us, or we're not finding the right players, or we're profiling the players? At the end of the day, we know this. Even Chiefs, they know this. They are no good, they're making excuses. The problem is that our fans now are busy, are going along with nonsense. I know, don't have the right players. I know, we have to be careful in our recruitment. We don't want to sign players for the sake of signing players. Like, honestly, tell me now, Uguti, in South Africa alone, we don't have good enough players that can come and play for Chiefs. Are you telling me that you can't find those players who are good enough who could battle with Chiefs? Just as South Africa, I don't want us to even go out and say, oh no, maybe it's South Africa does not have players. But I'm just talking about Tuguti. If you just look at South Africa, yona njiyodwa ayinabo South Africa abadlali that can actually fit istyle se-Chiefs. Kwa wonke lama team adlala kwi-PSL, you are actually telling me ukuthi in the entire South Africa there is not one player who's good enough that the Chiefs can spend money on to come and perform good Chiefs. Ama excuse. And the problem manje ukuthi i-Chiefs siyadliwa, and guess who's going to be the first victim in all of this? Secrets. Yeah. It's Zwane. Uzwane vele uzoxoshwa. And then another coach will come in, and then when that coach comes in, you know what happens again? Abalandeli will turn against that coach because again, the management here too will not back that manager. And once they don't back that manager again, our fans, us again, we will turn against that coach and say, oh no, this coach is not good enough, or he was never good enough. We are saying that with Uzwana Banye Bethu manje. We are saying that, and it never stops anyway with us Kaizer Chiefs fans. It's just always going to be someone, and then another person, and then another person. But if you think about it, who is the constant thing, or who's the constant person who is always there with Chiefs? then the answer is simple. Them Taungs are there, and they've said it many times to our faces. Uguti, no, this is actually family business, and we can say Uguti vele, this is family business, and ayikho esingayenza ngalokho. What we do is that we complain and talk about, oh, management is not fair to us. And some people, what's mostly said is the fact that some people actually believe in management and their lies. Like you'll find some people talking about, management this, management that. I'm like, no, guys. If we are being honest, we know ukuthi management Chiefs badlala nje ngathi, and they don't care. They're just like, no, this excuse namhlanje, that excuse kusasa, the other excuse 2 days later. Which one is it? Is it the fact that we don't have good enough players in South African football? If so, why are we then losing against these teams that don't have good enough players? Because Pela, Chiefs is such a high quality team with no player in South African football can match or can reach the levels of playing for Chiefs. So kuningi nje izinto that make you think ukuthi and make you see ukuthi kudlalwa ngathi and abantu are still holding on to the idea ukuthi no, it's actually the other teams, no, it's actually the coaches, no, it's actually everyone else but us. It's everyone else but the management at Chiefs. Yes. I'm trying to set up my stream. Oh my God, I'm going to switch off the slides. Yes, there we go. Oh, better. The pain of being your own producer. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, Uguti, it comes down to that, Uguti, when is Chiefs actually going to take us seriously as fans? Because game in, game out, tickets are sold out, or at least we try to buy enough tickets abantu ngemali yabo that they earn kanzima, but as Tats was serious. And then Ushoti Kosi Shoti says, Kosi for life, mina ke ndithi nokuba Chiefs ingawina Nedbank Cup kodwa kwi black coach ayikho right too, since Chiefs yabakhona, guys, masiyazini lonto. But nje, guys, uKaizer Mtaung did coach Chiefs and they were successful when he coached them. So I don't think this is about whether it's a black coach or what color coach. I think one of the things that Chiefs has not done well, Uguti, we are stuck in 1985. We are stuck in 2004. You get me? Where every player wants to come to Chiefs. Where anyone who's at Chiefs is likely to win something. We are stuck in that idea. We know Chiefs is going to win things. Chiefs has good enough players. But the competition is increasing. Other teams have built squads that are good enough to compete with the Chiefs. As such, you cannot stay in the same mindset, Yoguti, we are losing because of the coach. Because the obvious thing is that we have not invested in the squad. That's just obvious, so blatantly obvious. We do not have a squad depth. Tell me now, Fetuguti, Sundowns had 3 left backs, right? To a point that they had to loan out Ulake to Cape Town City. And now we are saying we are competing with the team that has 3 left backs. And in fact, go 4 left backs. They signed one from Cape Town City who was being called with national team. The 2 left backs are playing with national team. No Lake naye, YB's work national team. 4 quality left backs of right age. Tina left back yethe corner is over age. Bugindlela dlala ngayo, not over age, but abantu abathanda mangisebenzisa ukuthi abantu badala as a problem, but people don't like it when I say, oh no, sometimes experience doesn't help your Chiefs, or when I say look at what experience is doing for your Chiefs. It's not like achieving what people are saying experience should be achieving, because if experience should be helping your Chiefs with anything, then the previous 2 years wouldn't have happened, because our average squad age was up there. So then that means we should have had more success in those 2 years. And in those 2 years, I may just add to which we've been coached by European coaches. Mentendorp. On top of Mentendorp, there was also who? Hunt, well, South African, but he's not black either. There is also Upaxta to add. He also won something for the Chiefs before. So then what happened to Mentendorp? Before that, he won something for us. Hunt won the league with the Vets. Yet good Chiefs, he couldn't do it. Do you ask yourself that question? What actually happened? Why? Bazothi, it was a transfer penny. Yes, it affected him massively as well. So then isusa lento yokuthi abantu bethi no, it's the coach, because nabo coach aba experience, they couldn't do it. Nabo badlali aba experience, they couldn't do it. So how come then we say, or we still sit here and say it's the black coaches or it's the coaches? I don't think it's a fair assessment. It still remains ukuthi them Taungs are drinking us live. Shorty says, hello. Spewer says, Mashallah, stop that. Let me drink water. Minimum air today. I drink Saya minimum air. I am drinking water. Okay, first of all, Eddie Padu says Pule Modi is welcome. Ngabe some sign. If bemiyeke nange pre-contract manje, ngeke nibe some sign. Paul Kitty says Olampino, we're not drinking susu today. No, we are not. We are not drinking milk. We're just drinking water. Shorty says Mahlala, Sucha wena uma ucinga Chiefs ingathatha how many cups under black coaches. This thing doesn't have to do with race, guys. It really doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with race, Lentole, guys. It doesn't. So I won't even entertain that much. They won't take anything as long as you have that mentality. Okay, this is their conversation. I'll leave them to it. Martin Masire says, if Pepper scores against us today, I no lie, I'll go. I'll be going on a supporting break at least until next season. Kafana, because next season uzobuya, it will still be like this. So let him be, because yeah, as hard as it is, you will come back. Just stay and enjoy the pain. Then just imagine if Pepper scores the horror. You can put in Mashiane for Dolly and play 4-4-2. Inkinga nge 4-4-2 is that it's useful for defensive teams. For attacking teams, not so much. Because you are trying to dominate midfield and have at least three players in that midfield. So if uzodlala 4-4-2, then one of your strikers will have to drop and add into midfield. But their starting position is not naturally in midfield. Yes, it's not naturally as a striker. So because of that, yes. So because of that, you have a problem. Yoguti, in midfield, you can just be overrun by teams that are dominating that space. I just noticed, Uguti, this placement of a camera is much better because my hands are here, but then the autofocus. Yeah. Okay. If you're enjoying this video, guys, please do like it. Next one is I think we need to give Utuba a chance up front now. Give at least 5 games. I think he can adapt. You and me both. I think when I see vele what we need Chiefs. Okay, my comments are saying check it. I agree with you. Let me just put it simply that way, because Caleb is not around. Usaele can play as a winger. That also means more width. More depth out wide, So it's a good idea. I agree with you. Theophila says, Kosi, we're going to win today. Shabalala a goal and an assist for Dupree to score the second goal. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. That is the spirit. That's what we want to hear. That's the spirit. Hope Buffett. Do you know Uguti? Sometimes hope hurts. Sometimes if you lose, hope hurts. But if you do win, or if you're in a game, you're always hoping. This is my camera, by the way. I'm not using it because I'm using my phone, because the pelelo e battery. That's why there was that break at that time. Anyways, asikho lapho. Sisekutheni hope yasiza, guys. Singayini ngempela ngaphandle kwe hope, because the Chiefs yasidlisa, yet we still watch games against the Sundowns and think we're going to win. That's what hope does to you. Then Spio says, okay, usakhuluma noMahlala. Sihle says, Sahil right winger to pre-left, we put Duba 9 to Tuzi 10. That would have looked good, yes. That would have looked good. Inkinga ukuthi if uDuba noMdube dlala bobabili from first half, then who's coming on second half to change the game? That's the problem with the situation that we're in. If you play all those players that are good in the first half, then second half you don't have anyone on the bench. The problem though with Uzwane, what I feel like is the issue, is that he's not putting Uduba on the bench as an alternative to coming in the second half and improve the game. To me, it feels more like you're not good enough to start. Stay on the bench. Because if he was put on the bench so that he can come on the second half and change things, then what we would see is the fact that he would usually come in around the 60th minute as an impact player, but he's not being chosen, or he's not being played as an impact sub. He's only being just kept on the bench. So that's what hurts me about the situation Gatub. I could get uhlala kwakhe bench in if he was brought on in games usually, but that does not happen. So that's the problem. Kosi Martin says, honestly speaking, Pilo, who's most likely to score for us today? Let me just say it. Umtu will score today. Sesijambela my predictions. Umtu will score today. Usael will score today. Ngiyema lapho. Umtu and Sael will score goals today. And maybe a header from, I don't know, Ngezan, Guikon. My hopes and dreams. How I wish I was in PMP right now. Ngabe ngiyobuka ibhola, guys. Lento ukuthi ibhola ngilibuka la. Ngabe ngiyolibuka stadiums. It had a stadium. And then Simba says marking is right this time around. Making it is right this time around. I don't get it, but I think you are referring to the starting 11. So yeah, it looks, yeah. Sihle Skelem, like your mental, okay, yeah, Kulmano Sihl. And then Moses says, Ola Kosimpilo Nation, your skillful and pacey players like Sahil are continuously being wrongly utilized by Uzwane. He doesn't know how to use pacey, skillful players to suit the system. Because if you think about it, Sahil would give you much more as a winger than, because he came on in that game, and that's what makes me question coaches a lot, not just Uzwane. Sometimes you see coaches, professional coaches, like even in my high level, about coaching my Champions League, ama decisions are weird. Then you're like, Coach Lona, what's the problem? Yeah, so I don't know why Zwane is insisting on playing Usail as a forward, as a 9, instead of playing him as a winger. And into ezonginyangisa is when they start playing those crosses. Jesu ngisize. Hayi. Then Theophilus says we do. Kaizer Chiefs management is abusing us. They are. They don't care, these ones. They don't care, these ones at all. And then Sipiwe by Kulmela Botwa. High Coast Nations, cool. Lampo says Natal Rich Boys are unknown but showing us flames, lol. Yay, ngempela yazi lento engisho ukuthi you can't keep on saying hey, players are not good enough to play at Chiefs. See, players who play as a team, Richards Bay for example, they are showing people flames. But in a space, certain players can play for Chiefs. True, but if you are talking about certain kind of players based on their mentality can play for Chiefs, then you're making sense. But if you're just going to say, certain players can play for Chiefs based on how good they are, we've had good players who have not amounted to anything at Chiefs. So if anything, I would say it starts with the mentality of Mdlali before we even go to how good they are at Poland. Because if Mdlali nengondo ngasile, okay, that sounds wrong. But if Mdlali ngene mentality ngekho right, they can't play for Chiefs. So that's what I would say is one of the issues ngokudlalela Chiefs. But ukuthi soloku senze excuse manje ukuthi abekho abadlali aba good enough siqamba manga. And then Ukosi Tebucho says, guys, patience. Rome was never built in a day. The type of football we are playing has improved. Let's take a lesson from Arsenal. Kosi Tebucho, we Arsenal, ibeef yami ayina uzwana. Ibeef yami inokuthi ku Arsenal he was given the building blocks. Baqala bamnikeza Odegaard, bamlethela Ben White. Big transfers, big signings. They did all of these things for their coach. What are we doing, Tin? You get me? Bamsignele, yes, in the second season, sebemsignele Jesu, sebemsignele in the third season, I mean, because wafika halfway through that one, wawin FA Cup, and then waqala mayama results akhe, they were really bad, but then he improved, and then he's now leading the Premier League. We can take a lesson from Arsenal, but if we're going to take a lesson from Arsenal, we should take that lesson from all aspects, not just the coaching, but also the management and how much money is being pumped into the team. Chiefs is not doing that, and that's where the problem is at. Kosi Theophilus says, please don't forget to press the subscribe, like, and share button. Beautiful improvement, Mr. Mpilo. Thank you. I try. I'm even impressed with it. Looks better. I had to change some things. I came back from work and I was like, oh my God, what is wrong? I tried the camera. I tested it. And then I was like, okay, camera works. But right now, it seems like the phone is working better with all these things that are happening. What's this? Outing value chroma key. Look at what's happening. This is actually what's happening. This is the green screen. This is the green screen. And I'm basically fooling you. It's a magic trick. Anyways, a sequel up. Kuma green screen nama trick. Uguti, thank you for the support and for watching. And then Hornet says, hello, my brother. Chiefs is stingy. That's all I can say. I like how you're straight to the point. Chiefs is stingy. And they are. And it makes me, there is a part of me, of my brain that has been saying, hey, Mpilo, they are probably doing this because they are, what's this thing? They are saving for the women's team. Iqalile Hollywood bets. Alili lokunji women's what abekho bethu. Why? Because the Chiefs are serious ngeball. Because if you wanna be serious ngeball and be known everywhere by everyone, then you do all these things that are necessary. Women's football, you are there. Academy, you are there, promote players to our senior team. Now when it comes to youth development, we bring them up, we bench them. Women don't even have them. It rhymes. But Chiefs ayilithathe serious ibhola, mina sengiyilapho manje. Cosima Punya says, Tampilo, it seems Matoho family business is done with him. Let them realize him so he can finish his career or replace him with Gift Msimang. Billiard out and Otladisa. Alex out, Opus in. Ngiyakuzwa na cause indaba ka Given Msimangu ngayisho lento lokuthi iChiefs imiye ku Given Msimangu engakabi tied to a longer contract with ETS Galaxy this previous transfer window, like what was it, June last year. That was before he extended the contract, and Tim Sugazi said it if a player wants to leave, he will let them go because he knows he's not at a position to not allow players to leave, and he was actually willing to let him go. The way he waited until almost the last day a transfer window to then tie him down to a longer term negotiation, it was an invitation to Chiefs, come buy the boy. Chiefs didn't budge, they didn't go and sign him, and then now Msimang is basically there. And so I think it's going to be even harder this season to try and get him because Chiefs has signed with Ditlokwe, left-footed centre back, who basically takes up the position ebizodlalwa Msimango. So I think indaba Msimango is a bit tricky to say the least, because if he comes, then that means he's going to start and then Ditlokwe is going to be benched. Sobon would kwenzakalani, but yeah, I wouldn't be so stressed about Msimango. In my head, I think it's not happening, and because of that, I'm not even losing sleep over that. When we frame next one is Kosi Dominic says, Olampilo, if you could twin up with both Dupree and Silas strikers, then benze Amaran's wide kungabikho esizoti udlala center forward bashintshan. Yeah, that would be good depending on how Maritzburg sets up. If Maritzburg says we're attacking Chiefs, then that's going to work really good for the Chiefs. That will really work well for the Chiefs, and it also allows Usail to drop and collect the ball, and then he can take on players, gives him more freedom. But if he's a striker and there's a reference point in Kinga, because then it limits immobility. He's not going to drop to the midfield as much as like a person who's playing with another striker would, because he knows everyone is trying to find him. And I have a problem with a team that has, beginning of the season, I thought our problem was that we didn't have a reference point. But having a reference point makes the team rigid actually, because we're trying to find this one player, and if we don't find this one player, our movements get broken down. And if we're starting making our moves around the team, everyone moves, everyone can take any position, anyone can occupy any zone. Akusikho ukuthi sidlala ngama-position, sidlala ngama-zone ukuthi mangiphuma ku-zone 14 as a number 9, number 10 uzongena ku-zone 14. Makukuthi ngale ku-zone 18 ubani ongena lapho, ubani abashintshanayo. What I saw a glimpse of that in the previous game when they were like just changing and interchanging in those triangles, and I was like, okay, this really looks good. A movement, flexible triangles, a grounding. But if you just have one reference point, Caleb, Umandawon, if you're going to use Usaile the same way, then you're going to put him in trouble for no reason, because he's not going to do anything, and then we're going to say, oh, Usaile was overhyped, he's not good for nothing, but the player is good enough. But yeah, it would be a good idea to just change things up and be flexible. Give Pizzo Chiefs, you will see something. Sboo. Yabo reaction yam is a genuine reaction. I didn't even make that up. I just listened, I read, and I was like, because it's not happening, right? It's just not happening. Because one, for many reasons. One, Upitso is trying to go to Europe at this point. If you are noticing, the next job Kapitso Msimane, if he succeeds with Al Hilal, he is going abroad in like saying Europe. That's where he's going. Now coming back to Chiefs and having to talk to management to buy him players, he's beyond that. He's at the level where you give me what I want or I walk. Ozwane can work with that or deal with that because they are from within the system. But you're not gonna do that with Upitso. With all his accomplishments, you cannot bring Upitso. He will just clash with them and then nothing's going to happen. Because if Ungatiwa Chiefs signed all the quality players that Chiefs wanted, I even forget. There are so many. The players, or Fiston Maele, or who was the defensive midfielder, a lot of players the Chiefs wanted. If Chiefs signed all of them, I bet you right now, if Uzwan was underperforming, then ngabe sikhuluma something else. But equality ayikho, so then it's not easy to say it's fully his fault. We can see la kuyifault yakhe indaba yamasapho, so ikhuluma kushona ilanga. But I think the first thing that Upitso will want is a team that's ambitious. I think in one of the interviews he did say that ukuthi, if a team is ambitious, then he will think about it. So I think Chiefs is not ambitious as such. Ngeke uthole ukuthi Upitso can come to Chiefs because we are not ambitious. Predictions. So a City win la. So since this is not a league game, so asibona ama prediction bekumele kahle kahle lento ngiyenze earlier on, but then I forgot because I was having camera issues. Okay, let me read some of the comments. Okay guys, angisaboni ukuthi ngikuphi nama comments. All across the nation. Okay, nope, that's not the comment I'm looking for. Siyehla manje siyezansi. Oh yeah, sekukhona uMandla uthi oh cause I'm late. Awe cause Mpho says hi not Mashiane. Are you showing the match? No, I am not showing the match, Trevino, but I saw ukuthi there is a channel that's called something football on YouTube. It streams ama games at DSTV Premiership, which is weird because I don't know how DSTV does not have, but I can see there are a lot of YouTube channels that have that post ama highlights, and I don't think they get ama copyright strikes. In King South Africa, there's a business, that's a side thing. But if I was owning with DSTV, I wouldn't allow someone to be streaming anything on YouTube. That's why I don't stream these games, because I know how to, but the problem is I fear Uguti, my channel can get blocked if I start posting highlights, because they block you, then they delete your channel, and then all of a sudden your work that you did an entire year is gone. But there's a channel called, oh my god, I forget the name, but if I remember it before the stream ends, I will tell you. It's on YouTube, something football. You can just search Uguti Chiefs Live. That channel will pop up. I'm sure of that. Anyways, let me read other comments. Gezana is playing the wrong position. He's too slow to play right back. But the thing is, the alternative is Kweneka, who's even slower. So he's even slower. Dupree should be used as a number 9, then Sahel on the right or left to get the best of him. Uzwane Shem Soboni Mkuba namhlanje. Because Dupree is one of those players that in my mind I've deleted Uguti he's a defender, because I mean Uguti he's a number 9, because it's like never ever has he ever been seen as a number 9 with Chiefs. He only played the 35 minutes in the previous game as a number 9. Besides that, he's never played as a number 9 with Chiefs. So yeah, but if you are saying he should, I agree. They should try him in that position and see Uguti how is he going to do playing through the middle. And then Kosi Mandla. Oh, Kosi Cebo first says, noma bayawina noma bayadliwa sihamba nabo. Well, that's it's standard because there's nothing that we can do. Ngisho standa i-Chiefs awukwazi bethu kushiya i-team yakho i-team yakho. And then Kosimandla says, I know Duba. I mean, I'm sad, I won't lie. Our attack won't have balance. Hey Buffett, mina, I think the only way I can forgive Uzwane ukuthi angamqalisa uDuba would be if we actually bring him on early in the second half for Udoli and then push Usail wide and play Uduba through the middle. That's the only way it would make sense to me. I would say, oh yeah, but at this point it doesn't make sense ukuthi uzongena as a sub because we know ukuthi Uzwane does not play them through the middle as a sub. Okay, the name of the channel is called Just Football, ne? 468 people are already watching that video, so you can go check that out. Masiphuma kule video sengirecommend ama channel yabo, ngiyarecommend ama channel ngiyanplug. Yeah, so yeah, ngathi khona abantu asebephumile ku stream senginele ngathi Just Football abantu ba jump out of the stream. Anyways, with 8 minutes to go, ama predictions are going on here. Let me try. I mean, okay, cause your predictions are too much. Even if you go supporting break, it will not help. It will not help. It will be just like that. I agree, Simba. You go on a break, you come back, it's still the same old thing. So might as well stay and enjoy the pain. Next, Ukosi Andile says Basport Alaba, it's really irritating. I have a feeling Uguti today they will come out and actually do better. One can only hope. Can't blame a man for hoping. Cosmandla says Mpokiti me Wola, we just need our team to hit the target today. Not this thing of shooting from too far and not shooting from inside the box. Mosco traumatize Amandli gaming naqal. And then Tondo word to Simidia says a change in Kaizer Chiefs management is now needed like never before. They are making questionable decisions and they are consistent in making wrong decisions. That's what you can bank on. Yeah, but with the Chiefs, you can bank on them messing things up. That's what you can bank on. So yeah, I agree with you, Uguti. Inkinga Uguti, there is this thing that we're always saying, Uguti, each Chiefs should give this thing to someone who knows what they're doing. But ubana bazomvumela enze leyo nto le, because essentially uBobby Mtaung mangicheka kahle sengilandela in what's this thing? uBobby Mtaung is a manager with Chiefs, which basically means he is the one in Europe who would be the coach of the team, but now the coach of the team so in a way it's Zwane, Bobby, and then Kaizer Mtaung Chuni. So in a way these three guys, uBobby bekungathi demoted as a sporting director, but he's still there in deciding who's going to play or who's going to so that's what I'm saying ukuthi inkinga yami isekutheni Chiefs still don't think they are not doing a good job. They always think they're doing a good job, which annoys me. And then Mpo says Bobby Mtaung is only interested in ngeke ngiyifunde le comment yakho na Mpo, abantu bazoyifunda, ngifuni nje kuthiwa ngithe because abantu bazongiclipha. Charlie says Mpilo, where can I stream the game? I think Umthondo wethu media has responded to your comment as well. Just Football on YouTube. Thank you. Theophilus says 100% agree with you, Kosi. They are not taking us serious and the sad part is nothing we can do to change that. Sasipikishile bashaya but hayi soyeka. But hayi soyeka, we will change, we will do this, we will do that. That's what we say in Zulu. And then yeah, so for those of you wondering where you can watch the game, Tondo Wetusimide saying, yes, there is a channel called Just Football. Go check. People are watching. Not now. Makpeli stream. It's there. It's called Just Football. Just trust us. We are YouTubers. Recommending another YouTube channel. Secretly, we are running it. No, we're not. It's not our channel, but go check it out. And then Umpo says, Mtondo Wetusi Media in the house. I hope you like the video because it's free. And subscribing is free. Yes, I should go with that. I should go with that model too, Namanj. I will clip your videos and then say, yes, this because it's working for you. You are blowing out over there, I'm a subscriber. So, nami sengizoyishaya nto leyo. Umcook says bengasiphuzi. It's a slow realization ukuthi it's about to go down. Out. Oh no, bangasiphuzi. And bangasiphuzi bra. Yes. We understand ukuthi it's 27 minutes past 12 ekseni right now. And I have to wake up at 7 to go to work. And I'm going to sleep at 3 or 4 because I'll make a video after the game and then go to sleep. So, abanga-ke nje sengilala 3 hours ngizoyofundisa izingane usuku lonke kusasa bese beyangidlisa. Yes. Bangangicasuli mina. Bangangiciki shem. And then Liberty says, let's get the win. Umthondo Wetus is talking to Mpo. And then Noluvuyo says, Kosi Nation, our Kosi. The match is about to start. Yes, guys. Let's hope we do well. 82% of you said the team will win. So hopefully that happens. Go and check the channel on Just Football if you want to watch the game. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you after the game. Hopefully we win. And until next time, remember, equals. Alphelu no. Alphelu moya. Whoa. Angisakwazi nakukhuluma. I'm panicking. Papa in. So after the game.